Welcome to EastValleyTribune.com's Varsity Xtra. Mark Heller with Kyle Odegard here. We're actually talking a little bit of a club basketball, and we tend to not do a whole lot in the club scene in general. There's so many club teams. There's so many different sports which have club, between basketball and soccer and on and on and on. So it's something we normally shy away from a little bit. However, in this case, there's a pretty elite group of kids from around the East Valley all playing on the same club team, and club is often a means of which to get noticed by colleges and help in that regard. But as you found out, Kyle, this seems to be a little bit different dynamic of a club team in that it has 6, 7, 8 elite East Valley players all playing together voluntarily.
Yeah. Well, the way it's set up is Casey Benson's dad and Casey were talking about it, and they said, you know, we've all played on these different teams. Casey played for a California club team last year, and like this year, Dorian Pickens and Peyton Dastrup are both on out-of-state teams. They're two of the top guys in the state. But Casey was saying, I want to play with, you know, my friends and the really good players around here because 2014 is so good. So he talked to Connor McDougal, who is his high school teammate at Corona now. He talked to Jake Toolson, and those three kind of started it, and they said, we'll play together. And then they got Jordan Howard from Perry, Roberto Reyes from Gilbert Christian, all D1 guys, and they all came together to play together. And the interesting thing, what happened is the guys that were younger saw this, and they all wanted to play together too. So now they've got Marvin Bagley, who's gonna be in 8th grade. He's already got scholarship offers from ASU, Creighton, NAU. He's gonna be a monster in high school in a couple years. So he's in it. Marcus Howard, who's Jordan Howard's little brother, he's probably the top player going into freshman season. He's in it. Dane Kuiper, who's at Corona too, he's in it. He's a New Mexico commit. So all these guys are together now, and they're under Sundance Wicks, who's the coach for Casey and Connor's team, and he's a noted trainer, so he does a lot of skill development stuff, and it's not the same as just an AAU team because he's a former college assistant, and it's a lot more structured. They do plays, they do a lot of training, so it's just kind of a different feel with this team, and you know, they're talking about making this a really big thing. This is the first year, and they want it to stick. The question is, will it stick? But if it does, this will be kind of the landing point for a lot of the top players in the East Valley.
Was that the appeal? Because there's there's one ball to go around, and there's 7 or 8 guys who could jack up 30 shots every single time if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's the question. Is like I was asking Jordan Howard and Roberto Reyes about it because they've got some lower level Division I offers, but this summer is the biggest summer of their lives really because they want to show these colleges that they can play. And when you're sharing the ball with Casey Benson and Jake Toolson and Connor McDougal, you don't get as many shots. But they said, you know, we want to be a part of this team. We think us showing the way we can play with a college-like team, with the college-like talent, is important for the coaches to see. So they jumped on board, and that's the question, is if in subsequent years, if these players will do the same thing and want to play in this club team with kind of a de facto all-star team.
Yeah, and it's interesting that, you know, these are elite kids, so they're going to naturally get noticed. They're going to get theirs, quote unquote. They're going to get some attention, but to sort of sacrifice a little bit of that during the summer ball, like you said, the prime time to do it, for the sake of skill development and doing things that are not just throw the ball out and go play 3-on-3 for 25 minutes. I think that's the interesting part of this, is that these kids who are going to get noticed and get attention regardless because of their ability are deferring a little bit to everyone else with, like you said, with 6, 7, or 8 guys. Is this going to be, you know, I know they want this to set a trend. Is it realistic that it will set a trend?
I think so. I mean, if these kids that are in the freshmen, sophomores right now, if they stay in it for the next 3 years, that's really going to show everybody that this is the place to be. And I honestly think it's a positive development for the East Valley because there's a lot of club teams that, you know, they'll cater to their best players or it'll be unorganized, and there's some stuff wrong with AAU ball. So if you can get a legitimate operation like this, have the kids getting better, like you look at Jake Toulson and Jordan Howard, they're noticeably stronger. You know, they go to these sessions, and if it's something where, you know, they have a lot of good people in place, and if they can kind of get that ball rolling, they're talking about competing nationally against some other top teams from other states. So I think it's definitely doable for this to stick around. We'll obviously see Casey graduates, and all those guys will be gone next year. So it's kind of that next wave. It's up to them if they're going to stick together or go apart.
Interesting stuff. Check it out Sundays, East Valley Tribune, and also this weekend on Varsity Xtra's website.